Welcome to CFC Fan TV. I'm Rory.
And I'm Sophie, and me and Rory have been having a very heated discussion this morning about whether or not we think Chelsea will still make the Champions League this year, top four. Rory seems to think that we're still in with a chance.
I do. I think that we will make the Champions League. I think it's going to be tough, and the team that I've pinpointed to drop out of it is weirdly the team that have just beaten us. I think Manchester United, even though they beat us, they look very fallible. We were so unlucky not to be leading by about 3 goals. And if any of those chances had gone in, we hit the bar very early. If that had gone in, it could have been a very different game. And I saw enough in that Manchester United team, and I've looked through their fixtures, and I see enough opportunity for us to close the gap on them and therefore make the top 4.
Yeah, do you know what? The only thing that worries me about that game, we won't dwell on it too much because I'd like to think that's in the past now. But watching it firsthand, I mean, when you're watching something at the TV and the ball's, it's you're sort of focused on the ball and where it is. When I was watching Morata, he went down about 20 times. Every single time he got the ball, he's so easily tackled. And for me, if I was Conte, I'd be thinking at half time, right, take him off and bring Giroud on. And actually, even when they got their winning goal, we would have been a couple up by then.
I agree. I think that,
it was so obvious for me to see. Do you know what I mean?
It's what Romelu Lukaku did in the last minute.
Yeah.
I think the way that he led the line for them all day was very impressive. I'm not a big fan of Lukaku, and I don't regret us not signing him.
They took advantage of us not making the correct substitution in my eyes, and that otherwise, I mean, we were all over them first half as well. We were so good.
Yeah, I know it's a shame.
Together, so.
But I do think we will be strong enough to make the Champions League. I think Manchester United will drop out of it, and I think that we can put a run together. I think we've got a very nice run of fixtures towards the end of the season, and all being well, we will make it.
Yeah, but
just
and I've thought up until even maybe start of January that we will qualify. Like I've had no doubt in my mind. But looking back on the season now, for me, it's not been a good season at all.
No,
it's been
terrible.
Every time we take a step forward, we end up taking 2 steps back, and it just keeps going. I've not seen any consistency from us whatsoever, which is what worries me, because at some point, when you make the Champions League to the top 4, you sort of end up going on a run of some kind. Where has our good run been this season? Can we pinpoint it where it's actually been before we end up going back to the beginning?
You're absolutely right. It hasn't been good enough. And I think that this season has actually been a write-off. There's still a way to resurrect it, but it hasn't been good.
Yeah.
But I do just think that we will make it. We are a club, of course, with the obvious exception, we had 1 year out, but we're a club that qualify for this competition. We will make this competition. We have the know-how of how to get there. And I think that we can do it. I think that we're going to have to pull get our act together, because I think in the last, it's something like 4 weeks, Tottenham and us, there's been a swing of 12 points.
Yeah. And do you know what worries me, though? And I'm 100% confident that we have the players that can do it to get into the top 4. The thing that worries me is that, and a lot of it actually does fall on Morata, which we'll talk about later, but the club are so desperate for this signing to work out, and the only way for him to really get back his form is to play him. But playing him isn't doing us any good, and sort of in the last few months of the season, it's not going to help us in any way. So this is why I'm worried, because we've signed Giroud, who looks a bit lively, looks like he wants to score goals, yet he didn't feature. It didn't feature until I don't know when.
Yeah.
And it's not really, unless we make a decision to either stop playing our players that aren't working, no matter how much they've cost, and to actually get the team right, which we can do. It's possible for us to do it, but whether the board and Conte want to sort of, admit that it's just not, come to terms with the fact it's just not happening. I don't see happening. I think I can see both arguments here, but it has to come from a bit of realisation here that somebody with a lot of Champions League experience, somebody with, and even, you said that you wanted Morata to feature against Barcelona because he had loads of Champions League experience. I love the fact that we played Fabregas. I love the fact we played Pedro, because I could see them pointing, other players in the right direction of, they clearly knew how to face their old team. But with Morata, he's not showing any form, so I think it's irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? And going into our other fixtures, we need to have some sort of form.
I know. Look, I'm not a fan of Morata.
How can we make top 4 otherwise? I don't see how it's going to happen. Same cycle over and over again.
So why, who do you think is going to make it then? You think obviously City. You then think it will go in no particular order: Tottenham, Liverpool, Manchester United.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham start. The thing is with Tottenham is that Tottenham is all in their head, so we won't know until a good last 6 weeks if what's going to happen there.
So you're helping me with my argument that we can make it.
Yeah, but but I think it's down to us. I think it's clear. For me, it's easy to see how we will make top 4. But with the way Conte's playing our team, with the way, and I don't think it's all down to him. I just think they're desperate for this signing to work out. It's just not going to happen unless we sort of resolve those issues. Like, we just you got to at some point just admit that things aren't working out and move on.
I think
for the time being,
although Sophie, you're absolutely right. And the thing that wasn't working was Morata. Antonio Conte, to his credit, has shaken that up. He didn't play Morata versus Barcelona. He started Eden Hazard up front, and it worked out very well. I think we have two reasons why we will make the Champions League. I'm going to make these points down the lens. Yeah. So comment below, let us know who you agree with. Who will Chelsea make the top 4, yes or no? I'm going to make my one concise argument now, and you do it after.
Okay, yeah,
and we'll see who people agree with.
Yeah.
The reason that Chelsea will make the top 4, I'm going to give you 2 reasons, actually. I'm going to give you 2 names. It's Antonio Conte and it's Eden Hazard. When you have a player at your disposal like Eden Hazard, on the form that he's shown this season, as a champion, I don't think that you'll drop out. And when you have a manager like Antonio Conte, who we've seen him work his magic, we know how good he can be, we know that he can pull it out of the bag, and we've seen the passion within him resurrected, particularly against Barcelona. I think that those 2 reasons will see us just about make the top 4.
Right, and my 2 reasons will be the fact that we've had Antonio Conte and we've had Eden Hazard from the start of the season, and all we've actually seen is inconsistencies, and that's not down to those 2 specifically. It's the fact that they're going to be here to the end of the season. Doesn't change the fact that we have not been on a good run. I can remember that I don't even think we deserve to make it as it stands. I need to see either Morata has a sudden change of form and gets back into it, or we take him out, we start rearranging the team, and I think Conte knows deep down what to do. It's just, like I say, just accept it. It's not working out, and then I think we'll have a chance.
There, you have heard it. Let us know who you agree with. Do you agree with Sophie? And do you think that Chelsea will not make the Champions League? Or do you agree with me and think that we will just about make the top 4? Comment below, let us know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and click subscribe. Go on, you Blues. Oh, I'm going to cry if we don't make the Champions League.
Yeah, we'll be very upset.
I'm going to cry.